welcome to another episode of PONcast. Today I actually have subjects, quite many subjects. I'm not sure if I'm going to go through every one of them, as I don't want to make it too long. Also, I've been postponing recording of this episode, and it always makes it feel like, I don't know, different, or I forget about things what I wanted to say, but anyway. So, I'm thinking if I have anything, any story to tell, but not much is happening still. Staying at home, staying safe. I've actually got a little bit, I don't know, unmotivated, lazy and stuff, but I guess I'm slowly going back to normal, something along the lines of normal. I don't know if that makes sense what I just said. So before going into some, again, YouTube connected subjects I really wanted to talk about for a while at least, so probably most of this episode is actually also in a way connected to YouTube, and but maybe not really. I keep going back to thinking about for how long I actually wanted to record something, and what would happen if I started, like, I don't know, 5 years ago maybe. I'm just saying quite randomly. I'm not really sure when was the first time I was thinking about recording something. I mean, I had a blog, but I remember what bothered me in a way is that I like to, post some quite various things. When I tried making, some more, I don't know, when I was forcing myself to make some text on some given topics, it always turned out just shit. I don't know, something like you would write for school or something, not really some interesting piece. I guess maybe also because I was following some, guides how to be better and stuff, and it just didn't work for me, and I guess in a way I ran into this when I stopped making the podcast and wanted to make some commentaries. I was figuring out some subjects, I don't know, I mean, I think most of my commentaries I've done was like this, and I don't know, I didn't really force myself so much, but I'm not really happy in the end anyway. And I'm thinking about something. I wasn't really sure if I should talk about it now, but I guess that if I would speak about it somewhere, then it would feel quite bad to ignore it later. So I'm thinking of making a game. I guess nothing really ambitious, but on the other hand, I think that making a game at all is quite ambitious, and I'm not sure how would it work for me. I mean, I'm a programmer, but I'm not a game developer in any way, so it would be interesting. Also, I'm thinking about using RPG Maker, so I'm not really into making, some more advanced, some Unity based or something, because I guess it's a shot for every random little game is to go with Unity or something. But I want to actually make something else, some story, etc. But enough, I'm not going to go into detail with this, but what made me think about it even more is that I realized that the stuff I've been doing, it was always kind of all over the place. I like to write stories, something. I've even tried making some music, which you may hear as in the background right now or in the outro or something, but it's nothing very special, just some pre-made royalty free loops, just put together, so it's nothing really special about it. But anyway, it's one of the things I wanted to make. With graphics, I guess I'm on the same level or even lower than with music, and even if I make something that looks quite okay, like my YouTube profile picture and the background, it's always some more trick to it than the actual skills. But what I thought in the end is that making a game, it actually incorporates like everything of what I just said, and also coding. So I'm not sure yet how it would, I wouldn't know how it work until I will make it. So I don't know, I think it might be interesting, and since I've said this, I have to try at least. So okay, it took way longer than I thought, or no, actually I was recording before I started the actual podcast, so maybe it's not, never mind. Anyway, another subject is again YouTube stuff, YouTube dramas, but I'm not really going to talk exactly about drama, but okay, in a way yes. Of course, it's about H3H3 and Keemstar, but this time it's more about Ethan's response to infamous Gokanaru video, which he watched on the last episode of H3 podcast and reacted to it, gave his feedback, addressed some stuff, and I think he did pretty good job. Mainly that he just did it is really good move. Finally, after 2 years or something. Well, he explained some stuff. He shown some points that were backed up, maybe a little bit. I mean, some clips were used out of context and cut to make it look worse for him, and I think he responded, he debunked maybe to some point at least many accusations, especially about being a bad friend to some people. Like he was accused about, you know, backstabbing PewDiePie, the Jesus, I've lost the word. I mean, the interview with Jontron, which is also his friend, that it played off like, you know, he was interrogating him or something, which was also just presented this way. And yeah, anyway, I'm not going to go into much detail in this because it would take the rest of the episode and I don't really want to. The only thing that I guess is for sure false is the last thing. So the Shunais who claimed to be responsible for removing the Gokanaru's video and also just not agreeing with it when he actually have agreed with the video initially, but then I mean, yeah, but I guess no one is surprised that Shunais acted like this, because he very often changes his mind. And I don't know if you know who is Shunais. He's a guy who was famous for eating some weird shit, drinking whole bottles of alcohol and stuff, and generally quite freaky guy. So it wasn't really I guess everyone had some doubts about his credibility, and honestly I'm not sure what Ethan could have done after his response. I mean, he could just not include it, but it would be weird. And saying after his after Shunai's calling in and saying then that he thinks he's not telling the truth, it would be quite shitty move, for which he was actually accused by Gokanaru. So whatever, the point is invalid for sure. I was hoping that Gokanaru's response would be up before this podcast and I could also talk about it, but well, not this time. Next time maybe, we will see. And the next subject, I just want to give my opinion in general on some characters who might have had their who made their appearance in this whole story. So of course Ethan. What I think about Ethan. Oh, the one thing I've missed about his response. So many accusations is about his intentions, and we can't really tell what his intentions are. He cannot prove his intentions 100%, so it still leaves we still can just interpret it, right? But anyway, moving on. Ethan Klein, what I think about him. So, I used to be a great fan of his podcast and his videos. I mean, I still like his old videos, and I like the podcast, actually. I mean, I've maybe been a bit, I don't know, I've lost the word again. I've been quite, in a way, convinced to some people by some people criticizing him, but in the end, I think it's just fine. Some episodes are really cool, like the one when he was responding to Gokanaru. It was really nice watch. The latest ones, I haven't watched all of them because I maybe lost some of the interest, but anyway, the main point here is what I think about him as a person. I mean, I don't know what kind of person he is, so from his videos and him on the podcast, I don't really think he's some, evil guy and stuff. I think the problem which people have with him is what he's showing on the podcast, and he often gives up to some of his, I know, he gets angry and stuff, he says some shit, and I guess it's just the way he is, and it doesn't really say if he's evil or something. I don't believe he's evil, and of course I don't think he should be cancelled or something, because the drama and stuff, and Keemstar is showing all this evidence. His final evidence was the Gokanaru's video, which was pretty much, most of these points were debunked, or Ethan just admitted to be like that. I still like him, and that's it. So, another actor here is no one else but DJ Killer Keemstar. So, as I mentioned before in the previous episode, I don't think that he should be cancelled, because I don't think that anyone should be cancelled. And yeah, I just thought about someone who could be an exception, but nah, I'm not going to be making these weird hypocritical comments. Anyway, Keemstar have done quite much shitty things. Quite much. What language am I talking? Quite many shitty things. Mainly, spreading some allegations which led to quite shitty things for other creators, right? And so I don't know. I've acknowledged of all of this, and I think he should face some consequences, and I guess in a way he's facing it. He faced it, you know, like everyone already know that he is this asshole, this prick, and etc., this villain and whatever. He claims to be the reporter reporting the news, etc., and he gets something wrong. He reports an allegation or something, and why he even reports it, right? I mean, many people already have criticized him for this. Hopefully he would not repeat this mistake, but he kept doing it even though he was criticized for it. But who knows? But I had some other point, but I already missed. Oh yeah, he gets something wrong. He then gets hate, and then he cries on Twitter about getting hate, which is in a way funny, but I mean, I don't know. He's just entertaining. I don't know. I can't help but kind of like this guy anyway. And also his podcast with Banks and Colossal is Crazy is, I guess, one of the best podcasts I've been listening to. I mean, I also like H3 podcast, but with H3 podcast, I don't know. I feel like Mom's Basement is more dynamic, something. I mean, for sure, for most of the episode, it's like, baited two. They are screaming at each other and stuff, so it's more intense. And yeah, I mean, another nice podcast or talk show is Cold Ones, but I'm actually not going to talk about it, and I'm going for too long anyway, so I guess I will be able to talk about the rest anyway. So there was this thing brought up by a few YouTubers at least about, Keemstar is this source of information. He reports the YouTube stuff, etc., and what alternatives are there. So there is Scarce, but I mean, I like Scarce. He's very nice dude. At least he seems like one, and there is no reason to think otherwise. He's very neutral with his stuff. He doesn't spread, some allegations. I don't know if he had any drama actually, but if he was called out by some streamer, I forgot his name already, Gross something. I mean, it was stuff with not paying some editor, and the guy called out Scarce that it's not true or something or whatever, and he was able to fend off this shit. He was not, I'm neutral, whatever. I mean, he's got some character, I think. He also, in some older videos or some skits, like there's this one, he's titled My Experience with Keemstar, so where he is genuinely funny. I guess he should do more of this stuff. I'm sure he would get more attention, but in the end I don't think that he in any way replaces Keemstar. I mean, they are different people, they do actually different stuff, so they both have their place, I guess. Yeah. I wanted to talk a little bit about some smaller commentary YouTubers who are getting very angry, especially on Twitter and stuff, but I guess I will save it for another episode, as it was anyway something not really just wanted to mention it, but I think I might say something more. And the last thing, so the only channel which I was quite, the only channel to which I expressed, like, you know, hostility or something, like really, was the Memeology 101. And I still don't really like his content. I don't really like him posting some angry tweets now and then, but I think I'm not really, I mean, I don't have strong feelings about the guy anymore. Also, he's facing some real problems from some with some false strikes, and there is a quite high risk that he's going to lose his channel, and I don't think he or anyone actually deserves it. I mean, okay, maybe if someone is really breaking rules, he deserves, right? But you know, it's just false. Someone is doing quite bad shit and someone should do something about it, or his channel will be deleted, and yeah, and it shouldn't happen. But well, you can check for yourself. He's tweeting about it. You cannot blame him, because you know, everything he made is about to be destroyed because some random, I mean not really random, some unknown person is impersonating some YouTubers and is striking his videos. He's posting copyright strikes which are false. And YouTube doesn't take his proofs about it being fake. I mean, some of the claims, I mean, at least one was removed, but there are another claims, another strikes, so hopefully it gets sorted out the right way. So anyway, I hope it will be fine, even though I was quite not really content with his content. Okay, that's all for today. It is too long anyway. It shouldn't be this long, but there was some stuff to talk about. And well, so thank you for watching and or listening. And PONcast Nation now over 10 subscribers.